Hi, I'm Jennifer Foster, and Joshua Duckworth is presenting from my, I guess it's a conglomeration of the Old Testament and the New Testament class, and he will be talking about one of the apocryphal works that he focused on while doing his independent study. That should have earned him much more than a 1 hour credit, but alas, that was all we were allowed to give him. So anyway, without anything else, here's Joshua.
Where's the clicker at?
It should be up there.
Yeah, I want to see the clicker. Here. Sorry about that. Alright. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties and whatnot. As Ms. Foster said, I completed an independent study on the Apocrypha, and I'm going to relate to you basically the story and the importance of the iconic apocryphal work, Enoch. You can see here a picture of the text of the book of Enoch, but before we really get to the book of Enoch, we really need to know why Enoch's important. Why does he have an apocryphal work? Spoiler, it's not actually his. So, in the character of Enoch, he's mentioned in the Bible a total of 5 times. He's first mentioned in Genesis, where you learn that he was taken by God, that he never actually died. And that's the only Old Testament mention of Enoch. He then occurs 3 times in the New Testament. Luke lists him as an ancestor of Jesus. In Hebrews, it reiterates that by his faith, he was taken from God and did not experience death. And then Jude actually quotes Enoch. The interesting thing about Jude's quote is that that verse appears nowhere in the Bible. In the final book of the New Testament, Revelation, which is the iconic book of the New Testament in my opinion, he is speculated to be one of the 2 witnesses. These 2 witnesses come to earth to prophesy about the end time and are killed. The reason why people think that he may be one of the 2 witnesses comes directly from Hebrews 9:27 that says, "It is appointed upon all men to die once." Only he and one other character, the prophet Elijah, never died in the entire book. So these are scant, few, and far in between. But he's still one of very few characters discussed in both books of the Bible. Moses, of course, but Moses is a major character. So why does Enoch get the same honor as Moses? Well, that poses the question, if Enoch came a knocking on your door, would you answer? Sorry, I like puns. The serious questions become, how did Jude quote Enoch? Why is Enoch a potential witness in Revelation? And again, why does this small character, why is he so important? To get the answer to those questions, you have to delve into the Apocrypha. That's a little scary. People kind of get chills down their spine when I say Apocrypha. But the simple definition is that it's a biblically related work that's not in the Bible. There are some apocryphal works that never made the cut to get into the Bible, and some that were removed. As I said earlier, Enoch is the iconic book of Apocrypha. It is 105 chapters. It's pretty much longer than the New Testament. This was one of the few books I read. It's a fun thing to study. But some background information on the book of Enoch is that it was rediscovered in 1956 with the Dead Sea Scrolls. I say rediscovered because a lot of people were running around saying, "I found it! I found the lost book! I found the lost book!" No, they didn't. There's no proof that they ever did, at least. I can go ahead and tell you that Enoch was not written by Enoch. It's a case of pseudepigrapha, meaning that the writers took his name to give their book more import. We'd call that plagiarism today, but it was totally chill back then. They were cool with it. The 5 books were written between about 300 BC to 100 AD and come together to form the Book of Enoch. To discuss the importance, you kind of need to know the story, so I'm going to try to summarize these really quick. The first book, the Book of Watchers, the Watchers are angels who come to earth, fornicate with our women, and create the Nephilim, our biblical giants. Enoch is chosen in this book to reprimand the Watchers for their actions, and they are punished, and, well, one of them gets into hell pretty much. Enoch is then shown Sheol in the Garden of Eden as a reward. The next book, the Book of Parables, he receives 3 parables. He tells 3 parables. The first parable details the rapture, The second is about the Lord of Spirits coming to inhabit the earth. Sounds a lot like Revelation. It describes the Son of Man as chosen, who shall raise up kings, loosen reins, and break teeth. Go Jesus. The third parable details the rewards of the elect in unending life. It is in this book that Enoch is taken by a whirlwind, in the same manner that Elijah was taken by God. The Book of Luminaries is a very scientific, pseudo-scientific book about how the sun, stars, and moons work. There's like a lot of math, and it did not compute it. It does not compute with English major here. The Book of Dream Visions is once again stories, parables of Enoch. In his first vision, he sees the heavens crashing to earth, which he states means that sin must be destroyed. In the second vision, a bunch of animals get very violent. Basically, it tells the story of Genesis all the way to the death of the sacrificial sheep, which is, the parable of the entire story of the Bible, pretty much. The final book is the Epistle of Enoch, and it is the one written closer to 100 AD. Enoch basically says, take what I've taught you and don't mess it up. Pretty much the gist of it. So, this book takes Enoch's name to give it importance. But then, people read this book, and it influences the way they write, influences the culture of the time. I have listed here 4 apocryphal works that are all influenced by the Book of Enoch. Jubilees is essentially an apocryphal work that retells the story of Genesis, but it includes the history of the Watchers that Enoch has written himself. In the book of Sirach, he lists every canonical book of the Bible and their writer. In this list, he includes Enoch. There are only 3 exceptions to this list. Daniel, because it had not been written yet, and Ruth and Esther, because Sirach was sexist. Everyone was sexist at this time. The next book is 2nd Esdras, which is Ezra. In it, he makes mention of an archangel, Jeremiah. Now, you can search outside sources, you can search the Bible, you will never find that name. It only occurs in 2nd Esdras and Enoch. And then in the book of Judas, yes, the Judas that had Jesus killed, Judas receives a vision of a building with a roof of lightning. He goes into it. It does not end well for Judas. In Enoch, he receives a similar vision where he is told that no one should ever enter this roof of lightning. And so this is a direct correlation between the book of Judas and the book of Enoch. In the book of Wisdom, another piece of Apocrypha, it is in the Catholic Bible, so is Sirach, but they are Apocrypha that was removed in the Protestant. In it, you see that the book of Wisdom personifies the act of wisdom. This is before the idea of the Holy Spirit. It is the personification of Sophia, a feminine Greek word that when Enoch personifies wisdom, he uses a Hebrew feminine word. So the personification of wisdom originates in Enoch, continues with the book of Wisdom, and then we get the Holy Spirit in the New Testament. But Enoch wouldn't be that important if he only influenced other Apocrypha. That's only one aspect of the culture. He also influenced the writing and creation of the Bible. Now you can search the entire Bible, the canonical one, the traditional Bible. You will not find but 3 mentions of the word watcher in one book. The book of Daniel, which, as I stated earlier, was written late, was written after Enoch. This is not coincidence. You don't just make up this title of angels without having read Enoch. So Daniel, the writer of Daniel, very well knew the story of Enoch. The phrase, Lord of Lords, Kings of Kings, appears 3 times in the traditional Bible. It doesn't occur outside the Bible. It only occurs in the book of Enoch. That might be a small correlation, but it connects itself with Revelation, which we will discuss here in a minute. It also influences the Gospel of John. John writes that in the beginning the Word was God, the Word was with God. This idea that Jesus existed, or the Messiah existed with God in the beginning, occurs first in Enoch. For from the beginning the Son of Man existed. As we connect to Revelation, we see that the iconic book of Apocrypha relates to the iconic book of the New Testament. These 3 verses that I have listed up here, Revelations 1:13 through 18, 5 through 5, 9, and 19, 11 through 16, all correlate with the same visions of Enoch. They see the lawless one coming to take the earth. Great beasts rise out of the sea. Destroy the earth. Witnesses occur. Both of these two were taken to these visions in a moment of prayer. Discusses the creation of the new earth and the new heaven. And so Enoch, written at most 400 years before Revelation, is reiterated here in Revelation. So we can see it becomes self-evident. The lost book of Enoch greatly influenced the creation of the Bible and the Hebrew culture emerging after the turn of the millennium. Is why Enoch is such an important character, because someone took his name, ran with it, and everyone bought it as truth at this time at the turn of the millennium. It helped bridge the Old Testament and New Testament because it gave early Christians and Jews common ground on which to understand their own faith. I did complete an independent study on this, but again, I'm only an undergrad, and I've only been studying this for 2 years. So if you don't take my word for it, take Dr. Ephraim Isaac. He is an Ethiopian American from the region in which Enoch was most likely written, and he states there is little doubt that Enoch was influential in the molding doctrines about the Messiah, the Son of Man, the Messianic kingdom, demonology, the resurrection, and eschatology. It is self-evident that Enoch was important in bridging the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the culture surrounding the Apocrypha. Thank you.
Are there any questions for Joshua?
Why do you think that it's been left out?
It was kicked out of the Bible in the Council of Laodicea. Sorry, I can't speak Greek. It was mainly removed because it's very edgy. Not everyone was okay with the idea of fallen angels and a man, and so for simplicity's sake, it was basically kept out. There are some very few churches that accept it as canon, accept it as part of the actual Bible, but they're far and few. More questions?
Thank our speaker again.